Hello everyone. I believe this is video 9 for me now. I am starting to get deeper into my story. Some of the darker things that I have gone through. So I don't know what to expect, how my emotions are gonna go. If I could take a guess, I'm probably gonna cry during this video. This is real. This really happened. This is truth, and this is my story. I first want to start out by talking about my high school days now. I wasn't allowed to date. I was made fun of for that. Like I said, my parents did a really good job protecting me, and so many things, because I was in public school and I was surrounded by so many kids who weren't Christians. They were living a way very different from me, and it made me jealous, and it made me wish that I could be doing what they were doing. And when you're a kid, even as an adult, when you're exposed to things that aren't good for you, God says to cut those things out. And when you're forced to have to be around things that aren't good for you, it can lead you astray. And that's why God says cut them out. So it was very hard being a Christian surrounded by so many people who weren't. And it just, on top of everything I shared, I mean, that was very hurtful. But I was so close to the Lord, and there was a classmate that, thank God, God moved him to share the Voice of the Martyrs books with me. And on the front of them they say Voice of the Martyrs and Jesus Freaks. And I got into those books, and there was some CDs. There was Toby Mac, one of the artists that sang and represents that that organization, that group. And it is about all the persecuted people in countries. Well, it's not all of them, but it's recorded a bunch of people who gave their lives, martyrs, that were written down and recorded what they went through, how their deaths were. And it did something to me that just made my faith explode, and it made me so strong, knowing that how privileged I am in this country to be able to go to church and worship God, and anywhere I wanted, even though there's there's always going to be people that rebuke you and don't want to hear it, and things are worse today than they were when I was a kid, but they were still pretty bad. And so that really strengthened my faith, being able to listen to people's testimonies, and I'm getting very deeply inspired now, recently, this past year, of getting back into that, because I took a break from that for a while, and it does something to you that is unlike anything you can do when you hear people's stories and what they went through and how God got them through it. It is truly incredible, and it'll strengthen your faith. So I encourage you to look up Voice of the Martyrs and see. You think you got it bad. We're so blessed and privileged in this country, and There's a lot of people that are going to disagree, that you're going to find evil wherever you go. The devil lives here. You know, this is his world, and God is in control. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Get inspired, you guys. Get inspired and learn about other people's stories, and have the courage to do it yourself, to share your story. Because I want to inspire people to, because we can help each other and build each other up. That's what this channel is all about. This is just kind of coming to me in time, what God's plan is for me for doing these videos. So that's one of them. I want to inspire people to share their stories. So please share your story. Don't be afraid, because we're doing it together. There's so many people out there that have been doing it, and we just haven't known about it. So going back to high school, I was so shy because of everything I went through, and like my face was so bad. I was ashamed to even leave the house, to, you know, talk to anybody. It was so bad. I was so shy and so just broken down growing up, especially middle school and then high school. And then I wanted to mention, I didn't mention before, it makes sense to me now, there was so much out of my control, because when you're a kid, you're told to do this and told to do that, and then you might have some health issues, and then you might have teasing and stuff like that. And so nothing is in your control. And so I think that's what really a huge part of why I got into bulimia, because it's like that's the one thing I could control. And it made me have a piece of power that I didn't have, you know, so that I can see that that's a huge reason why kids do that, why I did it. Absolutely. You don't have the choice, the decision to, even in my, you know, English classes, they told you what you had to write about. You know, like maybe once in a while we had the free choice to write what we wanted to write. School is really, really training people and conditioning people to be a certain way. And I could do another video on that, and it's deep and dark and dirty. And that's why I homeschool. It's a huge reason why I homeschool, because there's things the Lord has revealed to me that aren't good about public school. So that's just my personal beliefs, and this is my story. So if you don't agree, we all have different viewpoints. Let's be nice to each other and respectful of each other. So I did speeches. Like, I wanted to share my faith, learning about the people that died torturous, grueling deaths because they were simply Christians and believed in the Lord. It gave me such a courage, even though I was so shy and so scared to talk, because I thought when people looked at me, all they saw were my blemishes and my flaws, and I didn't want anybody to look at me. Like, that's why I was so quiet. And I remember giving speeches in middle school, high school, and in college. And God is awesome. God is great about the Lord. And I'm so thankful and honored that God gave me the courage to do that, because I'm telling you what, of everybody, if you knew me growing up, like, that would be like, wow, God was really working in her, because she was so shy and so quiet, and my face would get beat red. Like, you see someone blush, you don't even know how severe my face would get blush.